necessary that would take away that lack of value that they have. Because when you talk to young people nowadays, there's no value on life. And that is part of it, because all of you there are old enough to remember that we had that when we passed through the school system.
We sure did.
Okay, and it made a difference. And we keep hearing education department. I mean, they admitted right there. I believe you were there, Senator, when they said there is no curriculum.
Yeah.
And trying to say that they teach it. And I have gone to the AFT, and teachers are telling me plain out, I don't teach it.
How was it when you were in the system? Well, you found it to be the teaching of that curriculum and history.
Well, I didn't go to public school.
No, but when you were teaching.
But when I was teaching, here's the difference. We had most of the teachers were locals, and they did whatever was necessary. I mean, we brought our own understanding and value of the history and the culture into the classroom. I was in the English department.
Okay. That's a good department to do it in. Yeah.
But my curriculum did not include Caribbean studies, but I brought them in. I always did a section on Caribbean literature. I always brought in people, but these things aren't happening anymore.
Okay, I see.
So you don't have the people, because most of the teachers nowadays are from outside of the territory.
Okay, so you're saying that because most of the teachers are from outside,
it makes the curriculum even more important.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, because where was lacking in the curriculum, we had it out of the teachers themselves.
Okay, right. In other words, you would infuse it as a part of the English.
Exactly.
Because you knew the history from here, because you were from here.
And many people did. I mean, I think you would recall that even you as a teacher, even in you weren't in the English department, but I'm sure you infused the history, and that's what I'm talking about.
Well, this is a good topic because we spoke about the crime in the community and the need of the education department. However, we could infuse character and history, culture, things that have value-based teaching, and I agree with you. So I'm there.
Because we have the department keep talking about it's a requirement. 90 days in junior high school and 90 days in high school does not a curriculum make.
Okay.
That's the only requirement they have,
Okay. Good. Okay.
That's the requirement they have. Okay. Now, in addition to that, Senator, I wanted to point out that I hear you there with your survey, but I will tell you that if I was a member in AFT when you came to the meeting,
yes,
I would never have allowed the discussion that you were going at, because
Why not?
My point is, Senator, let me ask a question. Do all 15 senators have a record of the bank statements for all the VI accounts? Do all the senators and 15 senators have a record of how the money, the shovel-ready money was spent, what it was spent and what is left, or what was done? Do they have an accounting of all those monies that were loaned that were supposed to last till 2012? Do all 15 senators have those records?
I would say no.
Okay.
But let me say this to you. I don't agree with that though.
Even in your personal financing, when you have to do adjustment, you sit down with your financial record in order to begin to make a determination of what you have to cut, what you have to eliminate, so how can you come to me to give me a choice of something and you really don't even know the status of everything yet? And I wonder, why is it that the senators, none of the 15 senators is bringing a motion to subpoena the bank statements, to subpoena the reports from Gottlieb, subpoena the report from Dawson? Why aren't they calling for that?
Okay, let me answer you. Senator Nellie Rivera O'Reilly brought an amendment.
And I don't agree with it.
And let me say that the amendment similarly would require all the banking information of the executive branch to be distributed to all senators.
And my point is...
And let me answer you. I disagree with that.
But why have a bill when you could simply make a subpoena to get the record?
No. The subpoena and the bill. Let me explain to you. There is structure in government that people should respect. We have a post auditor who is our financial expert. I believe to protect the government from its financial information being disseminated to people who want to destroy the government, whether it's through a lawsuit, whether it's through misinformation. Okay. Listen to me good. Don't interrupt. Listen good.
I understand that.
Wait, and so the person...
I want to take up your time.
No, the person who should get that information is the post auditor.
And well, then change my question. Does the post auditor have all that information I just referred to?
Not yet.
Well, that's my point. But you come in asking people to make a choice, and you don't have the information. How can you believe and trust that the situation is what the governor financial team says it is?
We demanded the information, and they provided it to us when we met with the governor and the post auditor and the finance chair, the president and the majority leader. And we didn't go into making decisions in a vacuum. And people don't know that. Because we ain't going to go in to make financial decisions and we don't know what the finances is. Now, what we did was came to a compromise that the president, the chair of the finance committee, and the majority leader should have that information because we're going to protect it. And we had that information. And the finance...
You're telling me, Senator,
I'm just telling you.
The legislature
wait, let me finish.
The financial records of how all that loan money was spent that did government...
No, we went to see the bank accounts, the funds in the bank accounts, okay? And I'm just telling you this because there must be some element of responsibility regarding the government finances. It ain't free for everybody to just watch. What we have to have is structure. The post auditor gets the information.
And I have no argument with that.
And so I saw the information. I saw the information, and the finance chair saw the information. And when the finance chair presented the stuff to the unions, and when he presented, he was the point person for us because he had the information.
If you saw the information, Senator, then answer me the question, please.
Hang on. I'm sure I'll answer.
What is the reason that the money that was lent, that was supposed to, according to the financial team, last till 2012, the end of fiscal year 2012, what is the reason then that it is not? Is it mismanagement? Is it abuse? What is the reason?
What we are getting to is a difference of policy and ideology. Let me just say this to you, okay?
Just tell me just the information.
Yeah, but I can't tell you the reason. I'm not getting into why people make decisions, Peggy. No. What we got to do is this, okay? We did not make decisions about this economic stability thing without having correct information. Okay? Now, maybe that the post auditor needs to get real-time information and banking accounts, balances, and things like that, and we will make the amendments accordingly. And I think the bill by Senator O'Reilly had great merit. It just wasn't focused enough, and maybe it'll come back. But what I'm trying to say is that decisions were not made in a vacuum, and decisions were not made without information. Okay?
Well, decisions are being made and questions are being asked
Peggy.
With your survey.
I know. Peggy.
No. I am not going there because you now won't answer me. You saying you have the information.
Okay, what do you want me to answer you?
You don't want to tell the public.
What?
As to what is the problem then and the reason why what the financial team said when they asked for that 500 million cumulative loan last couple of years ago, it didn't cover all the finances that they said they would. You must be able to give us some reason.
Well, the information was provided to the finance committee, right?
But
I'm not a member of that.
I am saying we, the people who you're asking now to make a decision, we weren't having the information.
The information, the information about the loan, right?
I'm not saying that we want to see the finances here, but I want to know what is the reason that it did not cover as the financial team said it would. There's one that said it was supposed to last till 2012.
Okay,
well, if it doesn't last until 2012, because here they are now, 2011 ain't even finished, then tell us what happened.
Okay, I hear you. That's a reasonable question.
Tell me that before you come ask me whether I want 8% of taxes.
No, well, listen to this. The information was provided to the finance committee in questions as to, I am not sure they answered specifically everything that the final $500 million was used. Okay, what was represented is that we have a deficit and it was used. Okay, so that you have a deficit because the $500 million that was infused into the government for operating expenses was used. You're asking for specific.
There's records to show how that of that 500 million.
I don't have it before me right now. No.
But
And I can't specifically tell you how every dollar in that 500.
But you're saying that the finance committee has that.
I'm saying that it was represented to the finance committee how it would be spent, how it was spent.
No.
And let me say this to you. It may have been.
English is a tricky thing, Senator.
No. I wasn't in the 28th legislature, Peggy.
But you say something different to me.
No, but
I am asking you if the finance committee has the record showing how that entire 500 million was supposedly used.
Okay, we're going to ask the finance chair for that. I don't have that. And I was not in the 28th legislature to borrow any money.
And I am not accused.
Okay, so that what I'm saying, but I want to be clear with you. You asking me a question that's with...
Because if some of that 500 million is floating someplace, we need to know.
Why?
And that needs to be redirected or something in order to cover some of this down. But
okay, we bring it to the finance chair. I said I don't know.
How can you come and tell us, the people, to make sacrifices?
Wait, let me explain to you. I see the bank accounts, the money in there. In making the decisions I made for the Economic Stability Act, we saw the bank accounts. The money is not there. It was spent. And the finance committee would have that information. And the chair, I was not in the 28th legislature. All I did was to verify the money that the government has now before we made decisions. And I don't have that information that you're asking for.
And my position
Thank you,
is
Peggy. Thank
that
you.
someone should have that information.
Well, we'll ask the finance chair about
that
it.
Things aren't being misused in
Sure,
order before you're sure. You don't give a man more money before you find out if he spent appropriately the money that he had before.
Well, let me say this to you. The finance chair should have it. We'll explore that. But we made sound decisions with this economics.
I don't say that the song, Senator,
Okay.
differ with that. If you really couldn't tell me that everything, you saw how everything went. You're saying they showed you how they intended to, not how they did.
Peggy, don't twist it, man. I tell you straight up, okay?
That's what you just
I
said.
telling you, I see the bank accounts with the money in, no money. I know that people can get fired. I was in the 28th legislature to borrow no money, and the money ain't there. And I just need to account for what decisions I made and where we going forward. You trying to put me into something that I ain't into.
I am not trying to do any such thing, Senator.
Yeah, thank you.
I am just trying to say that we need to know all the facts.
Well, you need to know. You need to know. I needed to know that they ain't got no money to pay the government workers and that what the governor said about 1,400 people would be done, and I avoid that. Okay? Thank you, darling.
Yeah.
Morning, Carla.
Pleasant good morning. First, let me say I agree with Ms. Moorhead.
Yes, you will.
In regard to the instruction of Virgin Islands history and the curriculum.
You teach it too?
No, I teach it, yes.
Oh, I hear you now.
No matter what subject you're teaching, that you are assigned to teach.
Which subject you teach?
If you have a love for your heritage, you will make it your obligation to make sure our generation, the future generation and this one, have an appreciation for their heritage and have knowledge of their roots. So it's true.